Guys, it's Jackson Fulcher here, and this Thursday I'm going to be seeing Mission Impossible Rogue Nation before I go on vacation. But I decided, hey, wouldn't it be fun to review all the Mission Impossible movies just like I did with Terminator? So here we are. Let's start off with the first Mission Impossible movie. Mission Impossible is about this spy named Ethan Hunt who's on the run because he's blamed for when his team gets killed because their mission goes wrong. He has to find out who actually killed all his team, who is the mole in the IMF, the Impossible Mission Force, and clear his name, and it results in one of the best suspense thrillers of all time. Now, when I first saw the first Mission Impossible movie, I thought that was okay, because I was a little too young to kind of like this kind of movie, but now that I've seen it like a couple hours ago, it's phenomenal. Tom Cruise is so good here. Not only is he young, but he's in his prime here. He is so good as Ethan Hunt. He molded his character that we love to this day, except for 2. And he's great as Ethan Hunt and always will be great as Ethan Hunt. What I also love about this movie is that there's 2 teams. The first team, which, spoiler alert, gets killed off in like the first 30 minutes. And then another team that helps him for one mission later on. And you could really feel the great chemistry between the first team with Ethan Hunt, Claire, and Emilio Estevez as a hacker. Emilio Estevez, you are so cool, man. Hasta lasagna, don't get any on you. So when later on in this scene, when all of the team members start to get killed in very tragic ways and Ethan Hunt gets all upset about it, you actually kind of feel that too, because in the opening scene, you can feel their chemistry, so when this stuff happens, you just feel the chemistry broken. And I really like that. You could feel their chemistry even though you haven't even seen them that much yet. With the second team, Luther Stickle, played by Ving Rhames. He is hilarious. Ving Rhames brought a very good presence to this movie, and I really liked his character, and I really liked him in the other Mission Impossible movies also. And there's this guy, I forget his name, but I think his last name is Krieger. I don't know, but he was also really good in the movie. He plays a very big part. It may seem limited at first, but he's actually a really big, important part of this movie, and he's also really good. And Jon Voight plays this character named Jim Phelps, and he was apparently the main character of the Mission Impossible TV series, which I have not watched. So it's kind of ballsy, spoiler alert here, so it was kind of ballsy of them to have Jim Phelps be the villain at the end of this movie, taking a very beloved character like that in the TV show and making him overall the villain. That was... You gotta imagine that some people might have been like, I don't know about this, man, you sure you want to do this? I guess the director had really good confidence in this decision, and it's a good thing he did, because it was really good. Another thing I really like is the direction. The way this movie is edited and cut and filmed adds a lot of suspense. Like, there's one scene where Ethan Hunt's at this restaurant talking to this other guy at the IMF, and he notices that there are a couple other people that he recognizes from earlier there, and this is kind of a setup. The use of Dutch angles also really works too. And there's one suspenseful scene where Ethan Hunt is dangling on a wire while Krieger is holding onto him through an air vent, and you can't touch the ground or else the security will be activated, and he's just dangling there. And then Krieger sees a mouse, he almost lets go of Ethan Hunt, and he just almost hits the ground, and sweat's coming down, it was very suspenseful. And also kind of funny because the guy who was working there was puking because they gave him something to puke, and it was funny. But overall, that scene was so suspenseful. It might be one of the most suspenseful scenes in film history. Another thing I really like is that the action scenes in this movie aren't like a big explosion, actions, gunshots everywhere. This movie really uses is thrills. Ethan Hunt doesn't really fire a gun. He has a gun, but he never uses it. There's like 2 or 3 explosions in the movie. There's not that many. There's a couple chases. There isn't really that much action either. It's just a bunch of thrilling suspense, and it really works. Especially that train sequence. The train sequence was really fun and suspenseful. So when you have a movie that's so suspensefully crafted with a lead character that you actually care about and don't want to die, that really sells for an awesome, suspenseful movie. And this is kind of a warning. This isn't really a flaw. This is really a warning that this movie can get confusing if you don't pay attention. You have to pay attention to this movie. It's not like, hey, let's pop in Mission Impossible and you can just sit there, maybe look at something else real quick, check your Twitter real quick or anything like that. No, you gotta pay attention to this movie because you might miss something and that thing might come into play later and you'll be like, wait, when did that come from? Pay attention. Do I have any flaws with this movie? No. I have one tiny nitpick though, and when I say nitpick, I really do mean nitpick, because this is a really weird thing to nitpick, but I don't know why this bothers me. In the opening credits, like the credits are playing, you know, directed by, written, and all that stuff, they show, like, little scenes from the movie, like very short clips from the movie. And I don't know why, but that always bothered me. I don't know why, but it just does. Like, why would you show clips from your movie that's about to be played in the opening credits? I don't understand. But overall, guys, Mission Impossible is a fantastic, suspenseful movie, and I love it. Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt was a blast, and I love this movie. I'm gonna give Mission Impossible an A. If you have not seen Mission Impossible yet, please do, because it is so good. And it, of course, paved the way for some really good sequels. Well, I don't know about Mission Impossible 2. I don't think that's a really good sequel. And I haven't even seen Rogue Nation yet, but apparently the reviews are really good, so we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.